We're actually doing it, people. Like I said we would, we're about to turn the key. All right, let's give it a go, Dave. Come on. We are back for another epic episode on this mad Turbo Hilux. This episode is proudly brought to you by the Mighty Car Mods Engine Heart t-shirt and
the MCM Retro hoodie for a retro car, which is what this is.
It got another big day on it today, Martin. We have got a whole list of things that we've got to do. We're going to show you the wheels as well. Unfortunately, the wheels that came on the car did not fit, so we've got some of them to go on. Dave is here as well. Hello, Dave. Alan is here. He's right there doing smart things. Look at him, just being clever. So today there is a big list of things to do, including clutch hardline.
Yep.
We need to bleed the brakes, put the wheels on. I do believe, Martin, that we are
you going to say it?
We're going to start it this episode, people. We're going to hear this engine for the first time.
It doesn't even have the radiator connected. It doesn't have fluids in it. Half my oil supply stuff might not even work. So yeah, but hey, let's start it.
No, it's actually going to start now. We've never heard this engine run. So this is a wrecker engine. As far as we know, it hasn't run for 6, 7, 8 years.
And we'll hear it through the exhaust system that we made that Alan will inspect the second this hoist goes up in the air.
And Alan can take a guess of who welded each section, which I'm sure he will enjoy. We're going to hear the turbocharger for the first time. I'm pretty excited, and I've got to say my excitement level today is bordering on maximum. Dave's excitement level, as you can see, as expressed by fingers out of 10 right now, is sitting at approximately 10. And Alan's excitement is sitting at approximately 10. All right, let's do it. All right, people, it's going to be a massive day, or probably a couple of days realistically, on this Hilux. Let's hook straight into it.
One important consideration when doing a big block engine swap or engine conversion is heat management. But big engines in small engine bays means there usually isn't a whole lot of room left for radiators and the fans required to suck air through them when the car is stationary. A shroud like this one can make a massive difference in how well the fans function, and it also is a neat way of mounting the fans themselves. We're using some riv nuts to secure the fans to the shroud, which makes them easy to remove and to service things. And once it's in place, we can connect up our radiator hoses and get everything ready to fill up with coolant.
In many of our performance cars over the years, we've run an aftermarket digital dash like the UC10 by Haltech. And while this was an option early on in the planning, I've decided instead to keep it old school and try and adapt the factory cluster with some modern technology so that it can be controlled by our ECU. Now, there are a number of different ways this can be integrated and achieved, but most importantly, I need my gauges and speedo to be accurate, and I also need them to be clean. So I've decided to pull this apart and give it a proper dust and wash to remove 45 years of Australian dirt. And while I'm happy with the outside of the car looking a bit rusty and a bit ratty, I actually want the interior to be a nice place to be. So I'm also giving this plastic cover a polish, and I'm going to replace all of the bulbs with some LEDs to make it a bit more modern and brighter. Overall, it's just a quick freshen up, which is going to make this a much nicer cluster to look at. It was really important to me to try and maintain that sleeper aesthetic and the original purity of the interior of this Hilux, and as such, I really wanted to use the original cluster. But the question is, being that the car is now going to be run by Nexus, how do we bring this thing to 2025? Well, we found a way, and my good friend Dave is here to help describe how that's going to work with science.
So what we could do, I believe, is use the cable that was already in the car. It might go onto the gearbox of the engine gearbox combination that you've got. We know it plugs into this, but I'm not 100% sure whether it fits. But then does the ratio and all of the changes that you've made, does it calculate to be correct?
Yeah. I mean, that doesn't let our Haltech control anything on here. If we're lucky and it all plugs in, it'll show something.
It's nice to have the speed coming into the ECU, particularly for idle control, and just there's a whole lot of different ways you can use it. for your benefits in the ECU, so
Yep.
it works out quite nicely.
The wheel speed's then going to come from the gearbox.
It is going to come from the gearbox. We could do the Hall effect method. Remember when we did it on
This
your
is this
Datsun?
one, right? The
Correct.
Yep.
So we put that on the back of your hub, and we could do something like that and make a bracket, make it all nice. But just to keep it simple, this actually doesn't look that fun to do that. So we're going to go from electronic to the ECU, then out of the ECU into mechanical, and then up into the dash via a new cable.
Using that.
Yeah, so essentially this is a speedo. This is what's in the gearbox. So it's a gear-driven cog that sits on the drive line, the output, I guess, the output shaft you would call it. I think I just broke it because it's not going, oh, there we go. So that's the seal, seals the oil in, that's what mounts to the gearbox. And then this then spits out a Hall effect signal, which is basically just a pulse for every time whatever is made inside here, and that sends that pulse up to the ECU.
Okay, and so then once that goes into the ECU, somewhere along there, obviously analog to digital converter.
Correct.
That becomes data.
We then tell the ECU the calibration of this sensor, which
Yep.
is, let's just call it 1,642 pulses per kilometre.
Got it.
Then the ECU knows exactly how fast we're going with how many pulses are coming in.
So once the ECU knows that, then we want to convert that signal to an analog signal, and that's where we use this box, which is basically a mechanical speed converter box.
Yep.
Which will get the signal from the Haltech.
Yep.
And then convert that. I think this has GPS in it as well,
Does,
which is
there's
why
a
it cost,
little antenna.
cost me $600. And then that will spin this mechanical cable.
Correct, inside, which will then turn your speedo inside.
So if I plug that in, and I actually put that on there, like that,
just a click, yep, that's it.
we want to give this a test on the bench so we actually make sure it works before it goes in the car. So we've got some battery
Yep,
and we're plugged in. Can we
ECU's
actually make it work?
the ECU's on, and then basically I think I should just be able to feed it some sort of frequency-based output, and then it might start coming alive. Oh, yeah, there we go.
Oh, there it goes.
Needed a little bit more frequency than I thought, but
We're almost hitting the top speed.
so we're in school.
We're in a school zone
original.
now.
We're in a school zone. We're hitting a normal suburban road. The needle control's not too bad either. It's got a little bit of jitter in it, probably from our settings just being a little bit rough at the moment, but
Yep.
it's not
Can
too
you
bad.
smooth that out?
Yeah, I think it's going to be harder down sort of that 0 to 30 mark. It's going to be a little bit hard to filter out the little wobble, but
Yep.
anything above 50 I think will be pretty sweet.
I mean, this car's probably never gone
Do you reckon
120
it's-
k's an hour.
Do you reckon that needle's ever gone here?
I don't think it has. How far will it go?
I think it will go all the way around. I don't want to do that though.
Look at it go. And the weird thing is, I can hear the machine.
Yeah, this should quieten out if you straighten this.
Oh, yeah. And we're sitting at 140.
Yeah, so it smoothens
On the
out a
bench.
little bit. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So that is one of the methods
Yeah,
of making your Haltech ECU run your 70s technology cluster. So like if you've got an old car and you've got original cluster, that is a method,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool.
keep the purity.
Keep the purity indeed. Well done, Dave. So now that we know that this works, can we just stick it back in the car?
Yeah, so it's good to actually confirm because I can now make a base map against the speedo in, and I can now use those settings that we've got and just punch them straight into the map
Yep.
for the R3 that we're going to use in this car and
So-
make it all work.
When I put this back in, obviously behind here, I need to find somewhere to mount that as
Yeah,
well.
correct.
And so basically put that in, leave that on, put all of this back together, and then just make sure the wiring is still accessible.
Does that say NOS?
It says
Oh,
NOS.
Yeah,
It does say NOS.
That's great. That's a sign.
We can successfully tick off Speedo Thing from our list of stuff to do. The fact that we can run a modern ECU integrated with a variety of different components from different eras is a real testament to how technology has changed and evolved over the years. And along with that is the smart people that invent these products and make them work. Now, while the wiring is coming together in preparation for turning the key, which is about to happen, Alan is constructing a custom line which is going to feed coolant into our turbocharger. My excitement level is now officially 11 out of 10 and we are very close to turning the key. Will it sound good? Will it sound bad? Will it go kablamo or will it go choo-choo? We are about to find out. We're actually doing it, people. Like I said we would, we're about to turn the key. We are very, very close. We do have to put some oil in there, which I'm going to do now. We need to get some battery, some power, which Dave is doing now.
And a tiny bit of plumbing. So
tiny bit of plumbing.
We just did a bunch of plumbing up here. We got all our coolant lines run for the turbo, the oil lines run for the turbo. I did the drain before Al got here. He's fixed a little bit of my work, not much actually, not as much as I thought he'd need to fix. And we've just also run the map sensor signal inside the cabin for the ECU because it must know how much vacuum boost, whatever's going on. Absolutely essential part of it. So oil's the next one.
We are running Castrol Edge 5W40. We've just got to modify the bracket that is on the dipstick so we can see how much oil is actually going in there. We haven't run oil in there yet, so we just want to see if there's any leaks or anything of concern before we start kind of running petrol in there. We also need a fuel filter. We're going to be running this on ethanol, so we're going to stick some ethanol in there and we will tune it. The plan is to tune it for both ethanol and for 98.
But we'll start on ethanol because that was what the song lyrics said we had to do.
You need a turbo and some ethanol.
We also have to move this bracket because we've got our awesome fan shrouds, which Chris John, who runs Phoenix, he came and actually measured that up and bent it up for us, which is freaking awesome because a lot of the time in these conversions when you're trying to stuff a bigger engine in, the fans is always what suffers, so you end up having to do dodgy stuff with puller fans and pusher fans and it never quite cools down. I struggle with that with the Gemini. This little shroud that he's made is just a work of art, so that's making it easy, but we do have to relocate our dipstick.
It looks absolutely amazing in there. Like, look at it. Like, just...
Looks like it's meant to be there. Probably going to need a bit of heat shielding up here. I know a lot of people like to say, oh, I need heat shielding. And yes, you're right, in this case you do. Mostly because these plastic reservoirs, like these metal things are fine with a bit of heat, but plastic reservoirs could use a little bit of heat shielding. So we'll make a little bracket or something folded up here just to protect it from where most of the heat is from the back of that turbo.
Not even on the stick yet, Martin.
It'll use a bit. Truck engine.
With our engine full of fresh, clean oil and perfect on the dipstick, it's now time to make sure our fuel is also fresh and clean. It goes without saying that you should be running a fuel filter on your engine conversion, but this becomes even more important if you're planning on running ethanol for a few reasons. Firstly, E85 absorbs water more easily than petrol, which over time increases the chance of corrosion and particles forming in your fuel system. Ethanol is also a solvent, which means it acts like a cleaning agent, scrubbing crud out of your old tank and lines, which means you need to catch that junk well before it ends up clogging up your injectors. Because when that happens, you're either walking home or worse, you're asking Marty for a ride home in one of his Subarus or Hondas. In addition to this, because ethanol uses around 30% more volume than petrol, your pump and filter are working overtime, which is even more reason to run a decent filter. Next up, it's time to put some oil in the gearbox. I don't actually know what's going on here, I'm sorry, it's been a long few weeks. But with all of that looking good, it's now time to put some ethanol into this thing and see if we can get it started.
We got there.
What do you mean?
We got there.
Where?
You need a turbo and some ethanol.
Oh, yeah. The new meme needs to be this image right now. Let's screenshot it, Martin. Are you ready? You got to look at the camera. 1, 2, 3. And that's going to say you need a turbo and some ethanol.
Oh,
done.
That's all anyone needs to be happy.
E85 can be ticked off the list, and I'm going to quickly throw together a brake hard line while the guys check off their final wiring before launch. The vacuum ports on the inlet manifold are on the passenger side, and our brake booster is on the driver's. A hard line will neatly get some suction across that gap, where I'll also need to install a one-way valve so the brakes don't see boost from the turbo. And now it's done, that's one small step for brake systems and one giant leap for this old Hilux.
People, we are going to try and start this engine. There is going to be a little bit of a process first. The accelerator is not actually installed, but it is connected, I believe. And now we will attempt to prime the fuel pump and see if we can get it started. There's no intercooler piping on this side. There's no coolant.
We've got to do fuel pressure too,
We just want to see if the thing actually turns over and makes some noise. Keeping in mind that this was an engine from a wrecker that hasn't been started for years, we don't know what state it's going to be in, but the first thing we need to do is set our fuel pressure using our adjustable GFB pressure regulator. But once we started winding in some pressure, we immediately noticed a leak out of one of the fittings, so we had to replace that with a new one. Meanwhile, Dave was battling with some conflicting wiring diagrams related to the crank and cam angle sensors, which is what the Haltech relies on to successfully synchronize and run the engine. But with that hopefully sorted out, it's time to finally turn the key and see if this thing actually works.
All right, crank angle sensor plug wiring was wrong. So we fixed it. Dave fixed it. This is literally like 185 terminations here, and to get one wrong, I reckon that's still a pretty good hit rate. So now there's fuel in it. We can prime it. We can hear fuel. Have we seen oil pressure yet? All right, we're still looking for some oil pressure. So I might do a little bit of cranking, and then if we see oil pressure, add fuel, and let's see if we can make it party.
Let's see.
All right, we saw the oil pressure gauge move. That's a good sign. We're on the way up. Now we're going to start it, run it, and then keep an eye on all those things. Fuel on, Davo?
I like how you just say we're going to start it like it's a fact.
Well, it's going to work. It's a Toyota, man. It's like the most reliable car money can buy.
All right, let's give it a go, Dave.
Come on. Yes! So clacky up top. Oh, there it goes. Hear it? Sounds good. Sounds really good. Sounds tough. I mean, is it running on 4 cylinders? Who knows?
I'm shocked.
That's good.
The engine hasn't run in like the best part of a decade.
Forever. And hear how it was super clacky at first?
Yeah,
you just
yeah.
need to get the oil up there.
Yeah.
It's good. Nice one. It runs.
Alan,
That's
congratulations. You're awesome. Good job.
Well, 4? What are you doing?
Well
Look at
done,
this.
mate.
What, 4? No, just basically
Wow.
masterminded all of this.
The reason that I probably sound so shocked is because even the guys from Gem were just like, look, we got it from a wrecker. Like, we don't know. Like, it doesn't run. Like, it looks okay, but it hasn't run.
Yeah, correct.
Now it runs.
Well, sounds like all the rods are in it. And you'll fix that eventually.
For
but
now. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds good.
That sounds better.
That sounds happy. Listen to it.
It sounds smooth and
does.
clacky,
Our exhaust,
like a lubricated chicken.
our exhaust sounds good.
I
Doesn't
can't
it?
hear it over the tick, tick, tick,
But
tick.
no, like it's got a nice note. Don't you reckon?
Can you give it a little bit, Dave, or is it too early?
Al can.
No coolant. Let's just remember that.
Oh, yeah, there's no coolant. Should we turn it off now?
Whooshka.
It's fine.
That's mad. You can tell this guy started his fair share of engines from scratch because he's like, no, let's just make it whoosh.
No, I like that as well because it's like it starts and my jaw hit the floor. I was speechless and I was like,
Yeah.
That was excited, yeah.
That's mad. Did you hear it?
yeah.
Little whistle? Oh,
Yeah.
It's going to be so good.
Sounded great. It's so good.
Yeah.
Will you be Devo if this chops your Gemini really hard?
I'll never chop my Gemini. No chance, ever. Okay, it's a very high chance.
That's why this is being built to battle the Gemini.
What? Since when?
Oh, you pretending you didn't know.
Since when?
Oh,
You just made that up
since
right
when?
now.
Oh, you just
No,
made it
do you
up.
like how he waited
oh,
till
sorry.
it started?
Oh, okay, right.
You just
okay,
waited
cool.
till it started and goes, oh, I'm in the battle with Gemini.
Of course it is. With this and the Gemini going to
how
battle,
can you
man.
say that like-
Loser gets sold. See you later.
I think Alan and him are going for a beer because they don't listen to us talk rubbish.
Hey, Dave, which car do you think's cooler out of this and the
don't
Gemini?
answer, dude. You don't have to choose.
No, choose one.
No, don't choose.
Go on.
You don't need to.
Dave, this or the Gemini?
They both have their
Oh!
very, very unique perks,
I like
and
both
I
of
like
my
both of
children.
them.
There's now lots of fiddly bits still to do. So that is what is going to get done.
And it's got to be on the dyno in less than 2 days.
Yep.
And at a show in less than 3.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of stuff still to do. But it starts now, which is awesome.
So today's Tuesday in the real world. Thursday is dyno. Friday
And Saturday car show.
and Saturday it appears at Super Cheap Auto event at World Time Attack. Yay!
No pressure.